following interview is an exclusive David Fine Media audio production.
And 38 pounds in the black corner from St. Louis.
Here comes Mr. Pro.
Andre the Giant.
Gonna get his legs in on the bruiser. Hulk Hogan.
Number one, the greatest WWE champion of all time, and in many ways, the man who made the title what it is today, Bruno Sammartino.
His opponent weighing 236 pounds in the white corner from Van Nuys, California.
It is completely awesome. I mean, it's a great show. I mean, it's a great video game.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. First of all, RetroMania Wrestling. It's a throwback wrestling game, spiritual successor to the arcade game WrestleFest. For all those of you who remember that game, and we're updating it for the future. So we have a great list of characters so far that we've released, including the Road Warriors, who were the boss characters of the first game. The BWO, who was announced today at WrestleCon, Blue Meanie, Big Stevie Cool, Hollywood Nova. We got the Road Warrior, Zack Sabre Jr. and Austin Idol, and Tommy Dreamer and House of Hardcore are also going to be present in the game.
And I mean, I know there's rumors of other wrestlers, but there's going to be expansion packs and other wrestlers that you're looking for.
Yeah, as long as the game's successful, we're going to keep adding wrestlers as long as we can. New features to the game, new wrestlers to the game. And just do as much as we can. Everything you loved about 2D wrestling, arcade wrestling, we want to pack into this game.
And I mean, I know this is a brainchild of yours 6 plus years ago. I mean, how did you come up with this? I mean,
really, it all started with I wanted to add new characters to the original WrestleFest game. So in order to do that, the source code wasn't available, obviously, of that game. So basically, I started reverse engineering the game to try to figure it out. And so I started doing it. A couple iterations later, I didn't really make a ton of progress. So about a year and a half ago, I decided to get serious, hired a programmer, hired a bunch of artists, and that's where we're at today.
And I've heard rumor and innuendo that your kids love it. I mean, they love to play the game. Is that true?
So far they've played an early build, and they're having fun with it so far.
I mean, this is your first time that you're bringing this to WrestleCon. I mean, the success. I mean, people have been really interested in it. I mean, it doesn't hurt that you have the Blue Meanie here today at the booth. But I mean, what has your response been? I mean, have you gotten a sense that this thing could change the face of video games?
That might be overstating a little, but I think there seems to be very good reception. All the people I've talked to have been interested in it. All ranges of from kids to people in their 40s, early 50s that grew up on WrestleFest. Kids just see the graphics and it looks interesting to them. They want to play it. And I think it helps that we have a range of wrestlers from Zack Sabre Jr., who's a current wrestler, back to Austin Idol, who is back from the 70s, early 80s in the game. A little something for everybody. So the reception's been great. And Blue Meanie's been awesome. He's a great addition to the game. We're super excited to have him and the whole BWO. They're taking over.
Yeah, well, I hope you're taking. If people want to follow you on social media and get updates on the video game and when it's going to be released in, early 2020, how do they do that?
At RetroSoft Studio on Twitter, at RetroSoft Studios on Instagram, and RetroManiaWrestling.com.
And so, I mean, what is the target? I mean, I know you don't have a soft kind of target.
Yeah, we're looking at first quarter of next year in 2020. But whenever it's, that's our target date right now. But we're not going to rush it out, as we want it to be the best possible 2D game we can make it, and fast-paced arcade action.
I mean, I know what would be your dream person to sign on. I mean, if you could just pick somebody out of there.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of licensing issues with everything, but if I had to pick, it would be great to put the Four Horsemen in there, all four of the original members. I mean, that would be great. That's who I grew up with. Ric Flair would be awesome. And those, unfortunately, a lot of those guys are under contract. So we're getting a lot of great guys that have arrived. Road Warriors were on the top of my list as well, and we got them. So,
yeah, I mean, the final question. I know in the future you're going to add females to the game.
Yeah, what? On the roadmap.
Awesome. RetroMania Wrestling. It's coming out in early 2020. Thanks for being on the show.